tea seems to be a pretty insignificant thing in life, especially if you're one of those degenerate coffee drinkers. But really, it's just a drink like any other. So what's this about a philosophy of tea? Well, the early 20th century Japanese scholar, Okakura Kakuzo, wrote an entire long essay on tea, its history, its philosophy, all in regards to tea ceremonies. But let's take a step back and really defend tea in general as something of significance throughout human history. In today's world, it's obviously a beverage of choice that addresses many concerns beyond just taste. You drink your black tea in the morning, I prefer Irish breakfast. You drink maybe a green tea in the afternoon for a little caffeine boost, but also a bit of calm through the L-theanine it has. And finally some chamomile or sleepy time tea at night to settle for bed. This is a good daily rotation, but there are also some teas to address specific issues, like stomach calmers, laxatives, anxiety reducers, you name it. And this is not to even mention the variety of tea we see throughout cultures. You have loose leaf, bagged, powdered, caked, matcha, milk tea, iced tea, hot tea, I could go on. And guys, this ain't a sponsor or nothing, but I went to this Texas place called HTO, and it was like a Willy Wonka's chocolate factory of different varieties, centering just around southern iced tea. It was amazing. Looking at the history of tea, we also see something extraordinary. There's often this talk of East and West and extreme differences in culture, where each side rejects what the other has to offer. However, tea is one of those few things that have gained a universal love. Strangely enough, humanity has so far met in the teacup. It is the only Asiatic ceremonial which commands universal esteem. I mean, here in America, tea alone played a big role in our revolution, with the whole Boston Tea Party. So we have this universally loved beverage throughout history that even today plays an important role. Now let's get into what you probably clicked on this video for. The philosophy. The philosophy of tea for Kakuzo's book centers around the tea ceremony, specifically Japanese tea ceremonies, but I believe his reasoning might apply to tea ceremonies of other cultures as well. As he explains in the latter part of the essay, the Japanese tea ceremony requires a lot of thought and attention. A lot of consideration is given to things we might find mundane and irrelevant, like what type of flowers should be present, what type of artwork, what should the tea room exactly look like, what should the outside look like when someone approaches, what are the rules of conduct when entering the tea room and participating? What does it mean to be a tea master in charge of this ceremony? There's a lot of intentionality, a lot of thought, and a lot of preparation. But what is it over? This is all centering around a cup of tea, a beverage that I could buy a box of at Target for like $3. Tea is such a mundane thing, and yet there is intentionality and thought placed in such a beverage and the ceremony surrounding it. But why? To answer this, we have to look at two philosophies that you might be familiar with, Daoism and Zennism. We already have a couple videos on Daoism, but one aspect that's most relevant to this is the acceptance of the mundane. All things are Dao, all things are, and this includes everything we consider trivial, like traffic or doing the dishes or tea. Daoism helps us appreciate the beauty in these mundane things and accept them. This is best exemplified in the famous story of the three vinegar tasters. So you got the Buddha, Confucius, and Lao Tzu, the mythical founder of Daoism, all gathered around a jar of vinegar. The Buddha tastes it and finds it bitter, just as he found life bitter. Confucius tastes it and finds it sour, in need of correction. But Lao Tzu tastes it and finds it sweet, finding the beauty even in vinegar. This acceptance and appreciation of things that are even mundane helped influence Zennism. Zennism has many similarities to Daoism, one of which is what Kakuzo calls a worship of relativity. Zennism, like Daoism, is the worship of relativity. One master defines Zen as the art of feeling the polar star in the southern sky. Truth can be reached only through the comprehension of opposites. Again, Zennism, like Daoism, is a strong advocate of individuality. With this relativity, things we consider to be mundane or small aren't in an objective sense. This means that we can value what may be considered small or mundane by others, and really put intentionality into such things. This is where the Zen-inspired tea ceremonies come in, putting intentionality and purpose into this process, when on the outside it seems so trivial and extra, considering it's just about tea. However, when you're really in the moment, really planning and being intentional even with the small things, there's a certain peace that comes of it. The whole idea of teaism is a result of this Zen conception of greatness in the smallest incidents of life. Daoism furnished the basis for aesthetic ideals, Zennism made them practical. Now at this point, we might talk about expanding this beyond just Japanese tea ceremonies, because if you're like me, there really aren't any opportunities near you. I mean, there's a tea room near me and you could do a whole tea party thing, but also that's kind of expensive. So how about we take the general principle and apply it to other aspects of our life? The general principle being to find the greatness in the smallest incidents of life. When you dedicate your whole mind to something, there's a peace that follows, because you have to shut out everything else. Like in meditation, when you focus on your breathing, you focus so hard on that one thing that the other anxieties of life don't creep in. Why not try this in the other aspects of our life? When doing chores or driving or simply enjoying tea, why not truly give what is occupying us our full attention? I know it's tough in a world of multitasking and cell phones and alarms, but when we truly put our entire mind to one thing, hopefully, peace and serenity result. Anyway guys, that's the video. I want to thank my friend Brian for suggesting this one. He's been a huge supporter of the channel for a while now. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button for more philosophy content. And with that, I wish you all a beautiful rest of your day.